Hello, dear listener and viewer, and people doing neither, and welcome to ABW Preview. Oh, I was worried I wasn't going to get that right. Right, this is the preview show for Olympiakos v Arsenal. With me tonight, it's Ryan, the man who fixes all the Arsenal quizzes on the Mr. Arsenal podcast to make sure he wins. How do you manage to give you the questions beforehand, Ryan? So you keep winning.
Well, it's called back. Little brown envelopes. Ask George Graham. He gave me some advice a while ago.
Oh, don't get any Haag involved. And if John Jensen comes to the door, just pretend you're not in. You don't want any of that lot. Absolute nightmare. How you been?
Yeah, not too bad. All things considered Arsenal-wise. And the fact I've had the vaccine on Friday.
You're getting it?
No, I had it.
You had?
Yeah, the first one anyway.
Oh, they offered me my one 3 weeks ago. But I'm waiting until everyone else has had it and make sure no one grows a second head or the legs drop off. So I'm not in any hurry to get it. I don't. Yeah, let me know if you die or you explode or anything like that. So you did a show tonight. How did the show go?
Yeah, the show went really well actually. Yeah, basically trying to get off our group of us getting off our chest.
Yeah,
the weekend basically. And get that last bit of vent out towards Granit and Arteta and the club, basically. But yeah, it went really well.
So do you feel better? Do you feel vented now? You've had a little bit of a moan?
Yeah, got out of the system now, so I'm all ready to have it all built back up come Thursday night.
Oh, wait till Sunday. Gee, we've decided that if we lose on Sunday, we're not even doing a live show after the game. That's how bad it is. Kane, Bale and Son on form. Fuck, it's going to be a cricket score. You're going to get absolute... Xhaka's going to get 5 own goals and then get sent off.
And give away 2 penalties.
Yeah, we can't talk about that now. This is meant to be a happy, upbeat show of us smashing Olympiakos, right? So where can you... the match is... Europa League, Thursday, 8 o'clock. Where can you see and hear the game? I hear absolutely nobody asking. If you're in UK and Ireland, it's BT Sport. Australia, Optus Sport. Canada, DAZN. And a new one for me, USA, TUDN. I don't understand why these Americans don't just give things names rather than Tudden. Isn't that what you do when you tell a bad joke? You go, Tudden. I think that's it. And I said to the listeners, if you want me to... include your country in the mystery country, let me know. So last week we had Ray Anderson, who's in Jamaica, and this week it's Moshin Ali in Pakistan. He was in our live show earlier, and I said to him I'd spend 5 minutes looking for this because the site I go to that gives you all the games and where they're on didn't have Pakistan on there. So I've been and found it, and apparently PTV Sports. So if you're watching it on there, Moshin, then I'm very happy to have helped. All right, Ryan, the head-to-head via Olympiakos. I was surprised to find out we played these 10 times. We played 10. I've put 1 and I haven't filled that in. There you go. I know what it is. It's 5. Drawn none, lost 5, scored 16, conceded 13, and we've had 3 clean sheets. And our last 3 games against them was the 20th of February last year. We beat them 1-0. 9th of February 2015. Oh, the glory days. We went there and we smashed them 3-0. And then the 4th of December 2012, we went there and lost 2-1. Do you have any memories of any of those games? Because I can just about remember the 1-0 because then they come to ours and what's the score at ours?
What last season? After extra time, it's 2-1. It was 1-0 a night. Then they, after 90 minutes, and we equalised with Aubameyang. And then with 5 minutes to go, you'd think we've sealed the game off and manage it. And we went, oh no, hold on, beer. There's another goal for you.
That's what we do, though. I've got a rogue eyebrow at the moment. It's driving me out of the wall. Have you got any fond memories of any of those games? Because it's always the joke about that game is the dead rubber in the Champions League, isn't it?
Well, the dead rubber, yeah, as you say, the dead rubber one was the one you mentioned in between where we won 3-0. We had to win. Well, we say that dead rubber. We sort of had to win that game, last game of the group, to qualify for the next round. Even though there's no point with us in the Champions League, we always get knocked out the next round. But yeah, it was on the verge of going out. They were a decent team as well, so we weren't exactly heavy favourites to get through that night. And Giroud actually turned up and actually took his chances for once. In that, what was that? Blue with like 3 colours going through it, Puma kit. I never liked that kit.
They like varying shades of blue.
Yeah,
horrible kit.
Yeah. And then the one before that, when we lost 2-1, that was out of nowhere because, again, we had a stronger team that one, was it 2012? You said,
Yeah,
that's a stronger team than the one we had when we won 3-0. We went 1-0 up, and then they just came back, got an equaliser, heads drop, and he got a winner. And again, it was a bit of a touch-feely moment in that group. Like, oh, here we go, we're gonna drop out of this now, are we? Because the most fun one is obviously the one we won 3-0. And Giroud actually turned up and decided to help us out for once.
That was nice of him. I don't remember a single thing about any of those games. Isn't that terrible, isn't it? I don't know how I get away with it. Right, current form.
Don't like the losses though. Don't like losses.
Yeah, the losses didn't happen. Yeah, current form and league position. Olympiakos are top of the Greek league by 16 points. That's an absolute joke. I was looked at their league history, and they won 7 in a row, and then a while before that they won 7 in a row, and then a while before that they won 6 in a row. I think I've actually wrote down later on in my list of stuff to read out how many titles they've won. It's loads. Anyway, Arsenal's last 5 away games in the Europa League, we've won 4, drawn 1, and lost none. Scored 11, conceded 4 with 2 clean sheets. Now that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Does that give you some hope?
It does, but again, it comes Mikel's man management of the games. And certain players concern me. That's what concerns me. But the stats itself to give me hope. But it's the players and Mikel. But hopefully more so Mikel can prove me wrong, because this is make or break, isn't it? Next 10 days really for the season.
That's it
in terms of European ambition.
Yeah, it is. Olympiakos' last 5 home games in Europe: 1-2, drawn 2, lost 1, scored 10, conceded 7, and they've had no clean sheets. Now that's their recent form. Most of that is in the Champions League, where they are absolutely diabolical. But that does look pretty good for us. Then you go on to injuries and suspensions. We've only got one, Emil Smith-Rowe. As usual, they're quite non-specific groin, hip, pelvic injury. And yesterday, on the 5th of March, there was a quote that said, Emil was substituted last Sunday with discomfort in his hip. Assessments and scans this week have shown that it is not a significant injury. That's good news, isn't it?
Can't give us no more details though, can they?
No, they never do. They're very, very secretive on everything. So, yeah, he's not dead, but other than that, we've got no idea. So his leg might have come off, but we've got no idea. And here we go. I'm going to try and do my best here with naming some of the Olympiakos players that are injured. Avram Papadopoulos, I can say that because he used to run a laundrette on EastEnders. Centre-back, abductor problems. Now, I thought an abductor was the person on the bus that gave you the tickets, but apparently not. Marios Vrousi, Verusai, I don't know. Left wing, torn meniscus. That sounds painful. Ruben Semedo, he is a centre-back. Apparently, he's the half-brother of the Semedo at Wolves, as Josh just told me. He's got a knee ligament injury. Usay Nu Bar. How can your first name be 5 times as long as your surname? Anyway, central defender. He went off injured in their last game, and he's apparently their best defender. And Papadopoulos is ex-Arsenal, you might remember him, is their only fit centre-back, but he has a shoulder issue. Now, do you know if he's allowed to play in the Europa League for them? I'm not even sure if he played in the Europa League for us. Have you any idea?
I think he can, because he weren't in a squad for the first time round in the group stage. Him and Ozil excluded, weren't they?
Oh, of course.
He played under 23s for the first half of the season.
Well, there you go then, ladies and gentleworms. You might see the return of Papadopoulos. That'd be good, but he's their only fit centre-back. That does really mean they're knackered, doesn't it? Other information, Olympiakos were Greek champions last season and didn't lose a single game. And this season, they've only lost 1 game. And in that game, the referee was Scottish. That has no relevance, but it's just a fact. In case you want to, if you ever go down the pub again, you want to tell your mates a fact. In 3 years' time, when we're all out again, there you go. That's it. And this season will be their 45th league title. It's not bad, is it? Their top scorer this season is number 11 Moroccan striker Youssef El Arabi with 20 goals in all competitions. Their number 9 Egyptian striker Ahmed Hassan is their second top goal scorer with 11 goals. I've never heard of either of those two, but that doesn't really mean much. This is the fun bit, Ryan. Olympiakos lost 5 of their 6 Champions League group stage games, scoring 2 goals when they were in the group with Man City, Marseille and FC Porto, who Do you know the latest score with Porto and?
Porto went through 4-1 on aggregate.
Oh,
the away goal took them through.
Shit the bed! Wow. Well, there you go.
Porto got a free kick in extra time, and Chesney did a Nick Pope and got a hand to it, but not strong enough. He hit the post and went in. And Ronaldo in the wall. If he'd stayed still, if he hadn't jumped, he would have blocked it.
Dear, oh dear. I blame Aaron Ramsey for all of that. Anyway, so yeah, they were shit in their group. Then they got taken down to the Europa League, where all the loser teams are. They have scored 9 goals in Europe this season, which you think, oh, that's not too bad, until you realise 4 of them were in one game against PSV Eindhoven. So I was looking at players that we share with Olympiakos. Can you think of any apart from Socrates? There was one other in recent history. I wouldn't have got this. He got out while he could.
Go on. I've no idea.
Joel Campbell. He went there on loan.
Oh, yeah, he went on loan, yeah.
July 2013. And we always ask, where is Joel Campbell now? He's playing for Leon in Mexico. I don't know if Leon is a man, or if it's a team, or whatever it is. But there you go. That's where he is, and that's what he's doing. That's all your basic information. As always, I ask my glamorous guest to give me their 11 for the team. So Ryan, here's on the right-hand side is your team. You have picked, for the people listening at home who are not watching this on the interwebs, he's got Leno in goal, Luiz left centre-back, Mari right centre-back, Chambers right back, Kieran, because I can't say Tierney properly, Kieran at left-back, central midfield partnership of Ceballos and Partey, Odegaard in the 10, and then on the Saka on the right, Pepe on the left with Lacazette up front. So, would you like to explain yourself, young man?
Well, first off, the reason why I got Ceballos instead of a certain person that we've all been talking about for the last few days is he needs a consequence to his actions. I mean, how many times has that person made mistakes and cost us points? Just not just this season alone, but since he's been at the club, and he's never been dropped. He needs to know there's consequence to his actions. Otherwise, this is going to keep happening. And that's rather concerning. What sort of message does that then send out to the other players then that are getting punished for their mistakes? Because Ceballos made a mistake in the last round, we all know. He got dropped straight away, back to the bench. So fair's fair there. And
do you expect him to do it though? To drop him?
Honestly, no. If I'm being honest, I don't. I have to be brutally honest, I don't. And then Chambers, Chambers played well against Burnley at the weekend. So I did put a foot wrong from what I could put a solid performance in, considering he hadn't played a single. This is his first game under Arteta since he's come back from injury.
Yeah, he had one sub, didn't he? He got about a minute against Benfica or something. That's crazy.
It's up, yeah. And then obviously we put Lacazette up front just because Aubameyang's not really hitting at the moment. He's not giving us what we need. And even though Lacazette hasn't been good in himself, but you know what, with the Sakas, the Smith-Rowes, and the youngsters that play in around him, and Odegaard, it works with him, and we actually get goals and it's the odd assist here and there. We've seen it since Boxing Day, but because Aubameyang's captain, we're seeing more of him because he's captain, basically, is what I think. And then Pepe's coming for me because when you put him out on that wing, well, I've put him on. He actually has been playing well this season on that side, and he deserves to be there ahead of other players at the moment.
I kind of agree with you. For those not looking, my lineup is Leno, Cedric right back, Kieran left back, Gabriel and Holding at the back, only because I think we can go there and smash them in this game, and then we don't have to worry too much about the reverse leg. Partey and Xhaka in midfield. I think that's more that he picked Xhaka. I'd like to see Elneny given a chance in midfield because Elneny never fucks up. He always has an all right game, and if Partey can make Xhaka look good, imagine what he can do with Elneny. Elneny could be in the Brazilian team before we know it. I agree with you with Odegaard because Smith-Rowe is injured. I agree with you with Saka and Pepe. And I kind of agree that Lacazette could do a job, but I've gone for Aubameyang only because I want to get this game out of the way because this is so important, like you said earlier. Our entire season hinges on this. And if we mess this up, Imagine Twitter. We're gonna have to shut down Twitter because all the people that know better, that have never managed a game in their life are suddenly experts telling Arteta what he must do. No, if you people knew anything, you'd be managing it, not sitting on the toilet having a poo, tweeting that Arteta needs to be fired as soon as possible. You silly people. Right.
The thing is, I would have had Gabriel on my team, but obviously since he's had COVID, he hasn't form-wise been the same as he was before. He's still sort of working his way back, and I think maybe fatigue-wise, there's a bit of fatigue there with the COVID, and that's why I sort of went to Luiz Marley. He's staying there because they both speak Portuguese, the same that sort of language. There's no language barrier there. They can communicate perfectly, and they do work together, kind of. Touch wood. My infamous last words.
Although we do know that Brazilian Portuguese and Portuguese are slightly different. We do know that. It's like,
of course, but also Luiz has played in Portugal, so he should know actual Portuguese.
Yes, he should do. Right, what else we need? We need to just talk about the game. How do you think the game's going to go?
It's going to be a very tight, grafted win. I think we'll win 2-0. I've said on my channel tonight, I think we'll win 2-0, but it'll be a very tight, fisted affair. Because the likes of Socrates will tell players who our weaknesses are that are left from the...
him. He would say, I was their weakness, and now I'm your weakness. Good luck. And the other weakness is backed off the Fenerbahce. He's currently laying in hospital with broken legs.
Yeah, looks like he's out for the season.
Fucking idiot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But no... So they're going to have an insider in their camp, basically, knowing all that sort of ins and outs. So we're going to have to counteract that. Arteta's going to have to... It's smart enough to know that he's going to have to counteract that as well. But he also knows Socrates, and we know Socrates, and we know his strengths and his weaknesses, so we can counteract him as well. So if he is that only fit, available centre-back, this should play into our hands, and we should make this comfortable. But this is Arsenal. We don't do things comfortable. Not in Europe, anyway.
No, we're not. But we have shown recent form. And I was saying before the show started to Ryan that the last game we lost in the Europa League was the final against Chelsea. Now, that may have only been 8 games ago, but that's got to give you... The team looking at that are going to go, oh, Jesus, last year's finalists, they're now unbeaten this year. We've got one injury. When was the last time we only had one injury? And from what I said earlier, that's only going to be short term. He's got everyone back. He's got Holding, Chambers, Partey's back. Everyone's there. It's just I think this should be our time when we put a decent run together and get knocked out in the next round by Spurs or Man United.
Imagine that, don't.
Oh, dear. So you're quite confident we'll win 2-0?
Yeah, I think we will get 2 away goals. We've got to learn from it again. Something we didn't do last year. Make the away game count, not just get 1 away goal. Get the 2, come back, make them actually... If they are going to come to us and do what they did last year and come at us, they've got to have to work for it this time. Because we did hand it to him last year, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Both goals.
Absolutely.
That's what hurt the most. That's what hurt the most, especially the second one. We've got ourselves back into that game with 5 minutes to go.
The only thing I think Olympiakos have got going for them is their form in the in their domestic league. But you look, they beat Lamea 3-0 at the weekend. The GC, what's that? Oh, that's the Greek Cup. They drew 1-1 away at Aris Thessaloniki. No. Then before that, they won 2-1 away at Volos. And then before that, they lost to PSV Eindhoven. And that was back in February. So they must have played... Oh, yeah, they beat PSV 4-2 in the first leg. And then they lost 2-1 in the away leg and went through on away goals. So I think we're going to... I mean, if PSV can score 3 goals against them and PSV 4 goals against them over 2 legs, I think I'm going to go that we're going to beat them 3-0. And then in the return leg, we maybe won't have to worry so much and we can lose in extra time and get knocked out. Now I'm going to go 3-0. We're going to easily beat them 3-0. Aubameyang to get a couple of goals, and then maybe Odegaard will get a wonder goal when all the pressure's off. So there you go. I think we fixed that. If that doesn't happen, you can sue us. Right, that's the end of the show. Ryan, where can people find your YouTube channel, the Mr. Arsenal Podcast?
As you said, it's on the YouTube, the Mr. Arsenal Podcast. I think you've mentioned before, we do quizzes on there, we do watch-alongs, we're bringing back the podcast now, getting back into swing of things on that. And yeah, we will have panels, different panels from the other channels like yourself, Mike from the Gooners podcast. We've had Tom on there, lead charges. Yeah.
Mike's a nightmare.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah. And how about on Twitter?
And on Twitter, you can find me at Mr. Arsenal 89.
Ah, there you go. So when I said where on YouTube can they find you, and I give the name of a YouTube channel, I kind of give it away there. You should have done what you just said. I'm not telling you again. But it's the Twitter one, Mr. Arsenal 89. So
you can also find me on Spotify as well now.
Oh, what are you doing on there? Podcasts?
The podcast that I do on the channel now. I'm on audio now.
Yeah.
Within a half hour to an hour after the show, they go on straight onto Anchor, and they go from Anchor to Spotify and whatever notified podcast.
It's a pain in the ass doing that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but
I hate doing it. That's the bit I'm doing now. I'm actually just converting our show to MP3 to upload to what we pass on SoundCloud. But they're going to scumbags charge us £95 a year. If anyone's at SoundCloud, do us a deal. £5 a year.
Bit for sponsorship, yeah.
Them scumbags are just busy putting their prices up and giving us bugger all for our £95. Right, that's been 21 minutes, and that's been about 5 minutes too long because I'm just full of waffle because I've spent the last 2.5 hours talking to Josh and Chris. This is we're recording this Tuesday night. This will be released probably Wednesday night in time for the game on Thursday. And well, that's it. We're going to go now. Thank you very much, Ryan. It's been delightful having you on.
Absolutely pleasure to be on, and hope to have you back on my channel soon.
Yes, indeed. And this time I'm going to pay Mike to give me all the answers, and I'm going to win it. I think I've won it once, and I've been on there about 7 times.
Yeah, I've won twice.
Yeah, well, both times I've been on, you've won. Yeah, I think
times.
It's more like 3 times that you've won. Anyway, right. Thank you very much, everybody, and we will see you later. Goodbye.